Good morning, friends. We got a super awesome vlog going on today. We are going out. Yesterday, I got a call from a lady. She actually lives out of town, but she has a rental here in town. And she gave me a call yesterday. She said she got a call from the neighbor of the house, and they said there was a huge leak going on at the house, so she wanted me to go over and take a look at it. I guess this leak happens every year. It's been happening every year for like 5 years, but they've never... Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So anyways, I went over there, and sure enough, one of the sprinkler valves is leaking like crazy when it's off, and the other two sprinkler valves leak when they're on. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that today. I gave the lady a quote yesterday when I first talked to her. She said, "Oh, do you know, because this is before we knew it was a sprinkler valve." She's like, "Do you know what it might cost?" And I'm like, I don't really know. It all depends on what's going on there. We'll need to, get in there, figure out what pipe is leaking. I don't know if it was a pipe under the ground or whatnot. I told her that, our minimum rate is, 90 bucks an hour with a 2-hour minimum. And she's like, "Oh man, that sounds a little steep." At first she didn't really like it, but I said, "Hey, I just want to go over there, take a look at it, see what's going on, and then we could go from there." So when I got over there, I took a look. I actually quoted her 3 hours to replace these 3 sprinkler valves. I don't think it's going to take me that, but we will see. Yeah, so we're gonna go over there and get this day started. So first off, we're gonna go to Home Depot. We're gonna grab some sprinkler valves and the accessories needed for that. Oh, another side note, yesterday we got a bad review. I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, we got a bad review from a lady. She called in. Well, I figured this out afterwards. I was tracking it down. She called in. She wanted some furniture repaired or assembled. So we didn't know what it was, so we quoted her over the phone. Well, she kept instigating to get a price. So we said, well, our hourly rate is $90 an hour, but we don't know what it's going to cost, because we don't know what the furniture looks like or what's needed for assembly. And right when we said 90 bucks an hour, she got really mad. She's like, "You guys are outrageous. You guys really need to, look at your pricing and figure out something. And because this is just outrageous. You can't charge $90 an hour." Apparently she's been charging or hiring handymen her whole life, and for $30, $40 an hour. But at least here in California, you can't work for $30, $40 an hour and run a sustainable business. You just can't do it. So she was outrageous, and I called her afterwards after she left the review. It was a 2-star review, so it wasn't quite a 1-star review, which is good, but it still sucks. So it lowered our rating to 4.5 stars out of 5, so that sucks. The lady, she just didn't want to hear anything I said. I called her up and tried to explain it and, see what she would have preferred, but she didn't want to hear anything I said. She said there's no way that she would work for us. There's no way that we could be in business at $90 an hour. So it hurts. It makes me mad, because I'm not trying to rip people off. That's not what I'm about. I'm trying to just charge a reasonable price that works for me and the client. I mean, the reason why I charge 90 bucks an hour is because we have a lot of overhead going on. We've calculated our costs, we've calculated our expenses, and $90 an hour is actually pretty reasonable for this area. So anyways, enough ranting. Sorry about that. Let's get to today's job. Okay, here we are at the house. I shut the water off yesterday, but all this was just a huge puddle yesterday. You can see how wet it is. It's all wet all along here. And here's our sprinkler valves. As you can see, there's a bunch of just standing water all around there. So this valve here, when the water, here's the little water valve, when that's on, this thing just leaks all the time. And these two leak when they are turned on. So we're gonna go ahead and replace all 3. This one goes to the drip irrigation system, and these 2 to the lawn. So let's get to replacing them. All right, I had this small piece of board in my truck, so I'm gonna put that down. That doesn't give me much platform, but at least gets me out of all that mud. So okay, I cracked this pipe. It's really thin pipe, so I'm gonna cut this next one, which is really thin as well, with this Milwaukee jab saw. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that guy right there, and I'll recut that one. Alright, Milwaukee jab saw actually works good for cutting all of them. We'll recut this one if we can here. I actually feel that this is a little loose down here, so I gotta dig here, see what's going on. You see how that whole thing kind of spins? Okay, after a closer look at this, that's actually a slip connector that just basically has rotation to it. So that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and get these new valves in. So regarding putting these, putting the primer and the glue on, I was always taught that you should put the primer on both the male and the female parts, but the glue, it's really only necessary to put it on the male part of the pipe. And the thought behind that is if you put it on the female part, it'll actually work its way back up in there and it might make the pipe a smaller diameter and possibly even clog the pipe. Now that's not, more than likely that's not gonna happen, but that's how I've always been taught. And I've never really had an issue only putting the glue on the male pipe instead of the female pipe. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that, whether you should put the glue on both. I don't know what the instructions say. I've never actually read the instructions, but that's how I've been taught, and so that's the way I do it. So, okay, now comes the time to hook these guys into our valve, and I love using this this OD fast tape. It says the best sealing tape. It's been working pretty well for me. So I'm just going to address these, and then also the little filter there for the drip system, and then hook them into my valve. All right, now it's time to put our valves in. Now this, the height of this one is pretty much already set because of this valve and all that hookup. So we know that that's our height. We've already cut that one to height. So what I do, some people call me anal, but take a level and level yourself off to the next one. And this is really just because I want every single valve to be even when we're, or level when we're all done. All right, this valve over here seems to still be leaking just a little bit, so these pipes kind of fill up with water. So I'm gonna go ahead and suck the water out, and then right before, when I'm ready to cap it all off. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done. I always like to test fit these guys before I actually glue them, because see, they're a little bit off. So just so you know kind of what you need to do to get them back on, you need to pull this one a little bit that way, make sure everything's dry. All right, we got our valves all wired up here. See how they're like the perfect height? Makes me happy. So let's go ahead and turn them on and see what happens. We'll go ahead and turn this valve on here. Let them sit for probably about 10 minutes now or so. It looks like this may be an issue here at one point, but this pipe here just doesn't look too hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell the homeowner about this. Just that she may want to replace, it's all PVC, so it's really not that bad. Replace this PVC and the valve at some point in history, or in the future. Go ahead and turn this guy on and see what happens. All right, there's one. Those sprinklers are working, that's good. All right, so this one's on, and there's absolutely no leaks down here at all. So we're gonna go ahead and shut that guy off. And then we'll try the next one. All right. No leaks there. All right, let's go ahead and try our drip here. All right, we're on. So no leaks going on in the whole system. I'm looking especially down here to see if anything's bubbling up, because that's where our slip fitting was, and it seems like it's good there. No leaks going on. Let's check everything here. So we got some drip lines over here. This drip line doesn't really seem to be going to anything here. Yeah, this drip line looks like it's been taken over by this tree, this dead tree. I need to figure out what's going on there. Let's see. Wow, this tree just came right up. Oh wow, look at this worm. That's a big worm right there. living in that tree. Oh, so this guy just needs to be capped off here. That needs to be capped off right there. I'm gonna see if I have any caps. That's a big problem right there. All right, we're gonna head back to Home Depot. We found 2 leaks in the drip system line. One of them was under that old just tree trunk that I just pulled out. So we basically just need to get some of these caps for this drip line. So this is actually gonna work out perfect because I wanted to talk a little bit about pricing and how to price a job for someone that's out of town and you don't meet them. That's the hardest thing to do, because a lot of times when you actually meet with someone, they understand your professionalism, your tone of voice, and they can kind of get a good feel about you. When you're selling to someone that's out of town, like this lady, for instance, when I first told her 90 bucks an hour, $180, she was kind of like, whoa, that's a lot of money, but I guess we got to do it, you know? But after talking with her more, I was able to sell her more exactly what needed to be done, because I came here right away, took pictures of what was going on. I sent them to her. I explained really well to her. When people are out of town, they just want to feel like they are involved. They want to feel like they are here. They want to feel like they know exactly what's going on, and that way they could trust you. This leads right into exactly what I want to do and how I run my business. Is these little things here. I'm not going to charge her for these little caps, but I'm going to fix them for her. So I'm going to run to Home Depot. It'll be all right, because I originally quoted her 3 hours to replace those valves. Right now I'm at like an hour and a half or so. So we're gonna run to Home Depot, grab those guys, pop them in. The whole thing, the whole trick here is to under promise and over deliver. That's what it's all about. So we're gonna run to Home Depot, grab these guys, pop them in for her, and we'll be done with this job. So I'm glad that we ran that. We figured out there was 2 different leaks. There was actually the main leak at the water valve, and then there was a leak at the drip system there. I did not find that second leak yesterday, but luckily it's not that big of a deal. I guess I could have spent a little bit more time yesterday figuring that out, but you know, no harm, no foul. This way, you know, this wasn't on the original estimate, but I'm going to be handling it for free for the ladies, so that will be great. So let's get going to Home Depot and grab those guys. All right, that job turned out pretty good. Sorry, my battery died. I couldn't show you guys the end of that, but basically I just put on those waterproof wire nuts on the sprinkler valves, wired them up the exact same the old ones were, put in those two stop nipples on the drip system, so no more leaks are going on. So this lady should be good for quite a while. The only concern that I have, and I'm going to tell her about, is that PVC line where the sprinkler shutoff valve is. I think that's going to need to be replaced here pretty soon. Hey, I absolutely love this Milwaukee jab saw. As you know, I love Milwaukee, but these things are great. They actually just run off of regular Sawzall blades, which is pretty sweet. They got easy quick connects, so you can put any Sawzall blade in these things at all that you want, and then they fold down into nice compact deal. Anyways, I got this on Amazon. I will put the link to buy this on Amazon in the description below. So this job was pretty good. Total of 270 bucks for labor plus some materials markup. If you guys are interested at all in how I mark up materials, I will link that up here. Check out that video. That's my in-depth how to mark up handyman materials video. Check that out. But this has been a pretty good morning so far. So now I'm heading to go do some more sprinkler valves. So I guess it's that kind of year. So anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel for more awesome content. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks all. Have a good one.